Shalom, shalom, ladies. How are you? How's everything? I hope everyone is doing well. I hope, Toba, you get well. Refuah Shalama for you. Devorah, you've been working, and Esther, you are in your vacation. And here I am, just finished cleaning the house and just getting ready to give this class because Amira's not with me right now. So all is good. So I hope we can get together by next week. I present you my real hair. I washed it and I haven't done my hair since last night, so this is my real hair. Okay, so ladies, I would love to talk to you about this letter. You are going to love it, okay? This is the letter Zayin, okay? So you know what, because I'm recording this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the video and I'm going to put all the information on the side, so you will not miss anything of this class. Okay, so this is the letter Zayin. I'm gonna put it here. I don't know how to flip the camera. I don't think I can. Oh, well, you can see it here in the picture. Okay, this is the letter Zayin, and the letter Zayin has a numeric value of 7. And it has the meaning of, just like you see the picture here. You see, I painted. It's like a machine. It's a machine for work on the field. It's also known as a weapon. Originally, I painted one, but I painted a sword because that's what it means, a sword. But also in the ancient Hebrew, it shows a machine, like a working machine for the field. And that I originally painted a sword, but the sword looked like a cross. So I don't want people to get confused with it, okay, and get the wrong message. So this is a Zayin, and I put the design of a machine, a weapon, okay? It's a sword, a handle, a blade, something to work on the ground. This letter has a numerical value of 7, and the gematria of this the gematria and the weight is written. Zayin is Zayin Yod Nun Sofit. It has 2 Yod. When you add the letters, when you add them, we obtain again the sod is Zayin 7, 27, and 77. Okay, 77. Double is 77. And that it gives us 14, 5, okay? So why is this letter so important? I mean, how interesting that the sod of the way the letter is spelled, it has a gematria of 5 and alludes to the 5 garment of the soul. And I'm going to tell you why it's so important, because in Shabbat, all these garments are before the eternal. Okay, and something very interesting about the design of this letter is that the design of the letter is a Yod on top and it's a Vav on the bottom, okay? Very interesting, because the Yod has a numerical value of 10 and the Vav has a numerical value of 6, and it will look something like this, okay? So this is a Yod, it will be something like this. It's like a flame, but it goes like this. It's like a Vav, okay? Something like this. It has a numerical value of 16, and when you add it, the design of the letter, Vav is 6 and Yod is 10, is 16. The Sod is 7. So the reduced value is 7. I took some notes here because I don't want you to miss anything. Okay, so this letter also, the sages says that represents, Kabbalists also said that the Yod represents the woman and the Vav represents the man. This also is a letter that is considered as spiritual and physical, okay? So the woman is spiritual, man is more physical, okay? Just as the creation. When Adam and Chava were created, Adam was created first, more grounded from the dust of the ground, and Chava is more spiritual. The women tend to be more spiritual. Okay, so, and also alludes to Jeremiah 31:22, where it says that the woman will will court the man, okay? And this is refers to the time of Mashiach. So you can see, so one of the meanings of this is that this letter, it means to sustain, okay? To sustain, to provide. Why? Because with the machine, they work the ground, they till the ground, and then they prepare the ground to sow the seeds, to plant different fruit trees and all of that. And also it means a weapon. So what do you do with the weapon? And not necessarily also a sword. It means a sword. It means any weapon. The Zayin represent an axe. With the axe you cut the tree, and to sustain yourself. I mean, you use the wood to create fire. Anything that have to do with protection and provision. This letter had to do with it. Now, the concept of this letter is number 7, and it represents the 7 days of creation. Okay, so and it's very interesting because on Sunday is Sunday, but in reality it's the first day of the week, when Hashem said, "Let there be light." And it's very interesting because that is the day when the sun, and when it's sunny on Sunday, you feel different after Shabbat. Everything is renewed. It's like everything is like, wow. You know, I don't know you, but I love Sundays because it's the first day of the week. You start anew, everything fresh, and it's like the ideas somehow start coming to your head. You prepare your week. I mean, it's just beautiful. And there's something about Sundays, and this is something that if you pay attention from now on after this class, you're gonna see that the cycle of creation, it takes place every 7 days in our lives. This is proven. Like for example, Sunday, Hashem said, "Let there be light," and it was light. See, and Sunday is actually when the sun shines the most. See, but there's something about Sunday with new ideas. You prepare, you set your week, and you start anew. Now, Monday, the second day of the week, is when the people tend, especially people that work in office, 9 to 5 job, they tend to have heart attacks or more stressful. People are usually angry on Monday. They don't like Mondays. It's something about Mondays that they don't like it. Why? Because Monday is the second day of the week. What happened on the second day of the week? The separation from the waters from the water. And what does that mean? So you separate, you know, what is spiritual from physical. See? So it takes time. So we have a second day in us too. When Hashem said the let there be light, but these things come, let's say an example, an idea. You have an idea. So what it takes for you to bring that idea into action. So you have to separate, you have to put things in order to bring that idea out, see? To put it into action. So you have to separate. And sometimes separation brings chaos, just like the waters. And it's the only day of the week that Hashem did not call it good, and you can read it in the text and Bereshit. Also, the third day and the first day. Hold on, let me see. The first day is light, which represents Chesed. It's the Chesed. So, and each day is equivalent to 1,000 years. Okay, of creation. It also represents the millennial. In 6 days, equivalent to the 6,000 years. So, and I want to tell you something very interesting I learned about this, and I want to read it to you. So Monday is Gevura, which means the strength. It's when God separated the water from the water, and when Hashem separated the waters from the waters. And it was on the second millennial that the flood came on earth. So it was the second day of the week. The second day of the week. Now the third day of the week, what happened on the third day of creation? The third day is that the ground, Hashem ordered the ground to produce the seeds, the tree, the fruit trees, the flowers, all the beauty on the third day of creation. And what is the third day of creation? On Tuesday. Okay, what we call Tuesday. What happened on third day of creation? In Judaism, people tend to do business. I do it. on Tuesday, and many tend to get married actually on Tuesday. Why? Because it represents the third day of creation, where everything flourishes. It's a type of, it's like the ground become very fertile, and the blessing is supernatural. The first 3 days of creation is spiritual. It's totally spiritual. It's like the above. So the light of the creation is not the same light that we see here. The waters of the creation, however, they're here, but there are spiritual waters too. See? So the third day of creation, which is Tuesday, it represents Tiferet, the beauty of Hashem, the creation, the plants, the fruits, and the separation of the waters removed so they can create dry land. So it's the third millennium. And it's very interesting because we received the Torah on the third millennium, right? So when was it? On the third millennium. On the third day, remember Hashem said that at the third day he will come. The man will not, it was not allowed, permitted to come closer to a woman, and they received the Torah on the month of Sivan, the third month. See, very interesting. And they said that when they received the Torah, there were flowers. It was the aroma, the beauty, like it was so beautiful. Like it was Gan Eden was again in Mount Sinai. So the third day of creation. Now the fourth day of creation, and it's very interesting. The fourth day of creation is the sun, the moon, the stars. I believe that have to do with Nexak, which means victory. The sun, the moon, the light, that's not that spiritual. These are the things that we see here, below here. And if you see that each day has the partner. So the first day of creation, the great light, the spiritual light, is the husband or the groom, or yeah, the husband of the fourth day of creation. So I'm gonna give you a visual of that after I finish. So I'm looking at my picture there. I'm gonna put it for you. Okay, so the light, and then the fourth day. The second day, the waters, and then the fifth day, which is the waters that produce the fish. Okay, the fish of the sea, all kind of sea creature. So the fourth day, exact, is the victory, is the strength. So we have the sun, the moon, the stars. The sun represents the male, the spiritual things, and the moon represents the woman, and the stars represents also the king. So that will be for the fourth day. Thursday represents Hod. Hod can be something good, can be something bad. Hod comes from praise, to praise, but also it can be for something, for war. Okay, so what happened on the fifth millennium? The Inquisition, right? Very, very interesting, that everything goes with the day. So on the fifth day can be good, can be bad. That will be on Thursday. And we're getting closer to the preparation for Shabbat. And that day is called Hod. And of course, Friday, it's the sixth day of creation, and is the creation of man. That was the creation was completed. Even though the Torah says it was not completed until the seventh day. Why? Because the seventh day is the Shabbat, is that close and that put everything together. Then Hashem on the sixth day make man in his image and likeness out of the dust of the ground. See? And then the creatures, the animals, before man, he created the animals from the ground and the man from the dust of the ground. So those are the 6th day of creation. And I don't have a name for this one. The 6th day. Okay, so it represents Adam. What Adam represents? It represents the 6th millennium. What we're expecting right now, we're expecting the Mashiach. Just like the name of Adam, the acronym of the name of Adam is Aleph, Adam, Dalet, David, and Mem for Mashiach. Now, I'm going to read this. Amazing. It says, the first day of creation alludes to 1,000 years. And each day represents, 1,000 years, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, until we get to the 6,000 years. So if we divide 24 hours, if we divide 1,000 in 24 hours, we obtain in the universal clock, okay? In the clock of the universe, we divide 1,000 hours. It says that we obtain 41.67 hours, okay? So it's 41.67. It's actually 42, equivalent to 42 years. So every 42 years, the universal clock moves. Okay, very interesting. It says, according to Jewish history, we are already past midday of Friday afternoon. Another opinion, it says that if we divide 1,000 years for 12 hours, which are the time that we are awake, it will be every 83 years that the universal clock moved. So add 1 hour to the universal clock. And according to this, we are past 3 o'clock Friday afternoon. It was created in the afternoon, and he's seen in the afternoon, okay? And he's seen on Shabbat. Okay, so you ready for this? Why is this number so spiritual and physical? Because it represents Shabbat, okay? And ladies, get ready with your notepads and to take notes of this, because you're gonna love this, okay? Why Shabbat is so important, why we eat certain food on Shabbat that represents the spiritual and the physical. So we sanctify this day through the food, okay, that we eat, through the wine, through the challah, through the kiddush, to everything we do. And on Friday, we have everything ready. We finish our work during the week, and we are ready to sanctify everything that we did during the week to enter to the Shabbat with all of our work done, okay? So why Shabbat so important? Why the food that we eat is so important? Because everything has to do with sanctification of that day. So what do, ladies? We light the candles. How do you say candle in Hebrew? Or yeah, candle is ner, okay? Ner. So I'm gonna put it here, and you're gonna take notes of this because you're gonna love this. And now when you do Shabbat, you're gonna do Shabbat with a consciousness of the sanctification of this day, the sanctity of this day. So ner. How do you spell ner? And you have the gematria of the letter Zayin. Ner in Hebrew is Nun Reish. Nun has a numerical value of 50, and Reish has a numerical value of 200. So you go 50 plus 200, 250. What is the small gematria? 7, represented letter Zayin, represented Shabbat. Okay, what else do? We say the blessing over the wine, okay? So the blessing over the wine. And then how do you spell wine in Hebrew? Yod, Yod, Nun Sofit. Yayin. That's how you say wine in Hebrew, Yayin. So Yod 10, 10, 2 Yod, 10, 10, and then Nun Sofit is 50. So 10 plus 10, 20 plus 50, 70. There's small gematria, 7, okay? Here we go, we have a 7 again. Chala. How do you spell chala? It's Het, Lamed, Hey. So Het is 8, Lamed is 30, we have 38, and then we have Hey, which is numerical value is 5. So 38 plus 5 is 43. 4 plus 3, 7, okay? And some other things that we eat. What are one of the first things we eat on Shabbat? Soup, right? So many people tend to make soup on Shabbat. Either matzah ball soup or just a soup, chicken soup. But it's soup. How do you say soup in Hebrew? Marak. Marak. Oh, marak. Like that. So we have Mem is 40, Reish is 200, and Kuf is 100. So there you go. 340. 3 plus 4, 7. Okay, has a numerical value of 7. What else do we eat in Shabbat? Meat, basar, carne, basar. How do you spell basar? Bet, shin, reish. So bet 2 has a numerical value of 2, Shin has a numerical value of 300, and Resh has a numerical value of 200. So you have 502. Guess what? 5 plus 2 is 7. What else do we eat on Shabbat? And it sanctifies the day because it represents also the righteous. One of the meanings we eat fish on Shabbat is because it represents the righteous man. I read that. I think I read that in a commentary from the book of Bereshit. Okay, so the fish is very important. Represents the parnasah, prosperity, righteous man. Okay, why righteous man? Because the righteous man is always in the waters of the Torah, moving in the direction of the Torah, always basking in the Torah. So how do you spell fish in Hebrew? Dag. Dag is Dalet Gimel. So Dalet is 4 and Gimel has a numerical value of 3. 3 plus 4, 7. Okay, so how many elements we have counted so far? We have the candles, the wine, the bread, the soup, the meat, the fish. Okay, we have one more, I think. Oh no. Oh, and the last one you're gonna love. Okay, the word Shabbat Shalom. When you have the gematria of those two words together. So Shabbat is Shin Bet Tav. Okay, Shabbat. So you have 302. Bet is a numerical value of 2, and Tav has a numerical value of 400. So you have 300 plus 400, 700, and then the bet is 2. So you have 9. Okay, so keep that 9 in mind there. And then Shalom, how do you spell Shalom? Shin Lamed Vav Mem Sofit. 300 plus 30, 330, plus 6, 336, plus Mem Sofit is 40. So 336 plus 40 is 376. So when you, and what is the reduced gematria? Is 7. Okay, so Shabbat, the reduced gematria is 9, and the reduced gematria of Shalom is 7. When you add 9 plus 7, you have a numerical value of 16. And when you add 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 things that represents the sanctity of the day. And why so important? Why is this letter so physical and spiritual at the same time? Why? Because during the week we work the ground, we work everything, we finish, we do everything we need to do, and then on the 7th day the women prepare the table, open the Shabbat, sanctifying the day, and the man basks himself in the words of the Torah. And that is the meaning of this amazing letter. I love it. Don't you love it? Okay, so now we're gonna read the book of Tehillim. Let me look for it. Okay, so we have the book of Tehillim in Psalm 119:49. It's for the letter Zayin through 56. So I'll read to you. It says here that the letter Zayin, the series of verses begin with the letter Zayin, which has a numerical value of 7, a number that alludes to the spiritual world, in contrast to 6, which has a physical connotation. The number 6 symbolizes the cube form as a 3-dimensional unit representing the total perfection of this physical world, created in 6 days. Furthermore, 6 alludes to the 6th direction of the physical world. Up, down, east, west, south, and north. 7 always indicates the divine element connected with the physical world of creation, as in the case of the Holy Shabbat, the 7th day. The theme of the Shabbat is Sachor, remember, or Sachor. Remember, for keeping the Shabbat reminds the Jew of his Creator. In this series of the psalmist relate how he constantly remembers God and how God remembers him with special kindness. The Talmud in Shabbos 104a says that the letter Zayin represents Zang, livelihood, sustenance. The men who fulfill the lesson of the first 6 letters will merit this. If one studies and understands, Aleph Bet does kindness to the poor, Gimel Dalet, and cherishes the name of Hashem, Hey Vav, then he will certainly be blessed by having all of his physical needs provided for. Wow, this is so interesting. The first 7 days, we have the hint of the beauty of the Hebrew letter. On the first 7 days, we have the message. So Aleph, the first day of the week, the light, the Father, everything. Hashem is light, the light. And this is the first letter that the word or, which is light, begin with, Aleph. Bet, the second day of creation, the house. See, what is commanded the house? To separate from worldly things. Israel is commanded to separate from things of the world. We're not supposed to be joining worldly things. See, following the what everybody does. The third day of creation, Gimel, and Gimel is the letter of prosperity, of the riches. And what happened on the third day of creation? The seeds, everything. Hashem commanded everything to give, to produce, to the earth to produce. Isn't that interesting? The fourth have to do with the Dalet, and the Dalet have to do with the sun, moon, stars. It's like a lower level from the first day, obviously, with the light. So we have the sun, the moon, and the stars. That means that and the stars represents, it's so beautiful because the stars represents the Tzaddikim. So who are the one that shines? Who are the Tzaddikim? Those who listen to the Torah, those who listen to Hashem. So it represents a lower level, something more humble. And then the fifth day of creation have to do with Hey. So the letter Hey is the day of revelation. It's the letter that represents, the inside, the revelation, the breath. And it's so interesting that the fish, the righteous man, also represents the fish, someone who's basking in the Torah. And the Torah is a revelation of Hashem. And then the sixth day, the creation of man, and it represents the letter Vav. And in the sixth day, once we actually have 3 things. The creation, man, and the first Torah was given on the 6th day. Which I thought it was actually not to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, but the first Torah was given is to procreate, fill the earth. Very interesting. And the 7th day is the Zayin. That means it's the spiritual and the physical come together. See, so it's like Shabbat is the crown of all of those days, because Shabbat doesn't have a couple really. So the first day with the 4th, the second with the 5th, and the 6th, and the 3rd with the 6th. I want to show you something. I'm gonna have to flip the thing, but look how interesting. This is how I memorize this Torah. This is one of my favorites. Here you can see the couple. See, so the first day is the couple of the 4th day, the second the fish, and then creation and man, and then Shabbat is the crown of all of them. It's very, very, very interesting. So now you can see it better. So we have a mission, ladies. We have a mission every week. On the first day of the week, Hashem, and that everything that He gives us, we have to put it into action. So we enter the Shabbat with all our work done. Okay. So, well, I want to see you reading. Please, can you record it for me so I can hear you? The reading of the class that I gave you. Okay, ladies, Shabbat Shalom. I don't think we have class tomorrow. Tomorrow is Shabbat, actually. It's Friday, and we have to go ready for Shabbat. I strongly believe that it's going to be a meaningful Shabbat for you, because now you're going to do it with intention, with the kavanah, with the knowledge of this amazing day. Okay, Shabbat Shalom. I miss you guys. I hope we can be together for next week. Bye-bye.